I'm going to say this one time and one time only. Don't no man want any woman that will accept him when he's down, out, and broke. Uh-uh. Don't no man respect her. Don't no man want her. And she's not going to be with that man. Because y'all be crying like, I held him down. He don't give a shit. He don't respect you. He don't love you. His dream woman would never. Remember that. You're single, not stupid.
I just got back from a second date with someone and it went great. We went hiking, saw a waterfall. He was such a gentleman. He did make a comment to me that has me questioning myself, maybe. He said that you seem very independent. And my response was yes, because I've had to be. So like, I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like just based off of what I've heard on social media, men don't necessarily like really independent women, but like, what do you do when you're put in this situation where you have to be independent? You don't have somebody that you can rely on. So I don't know where this is going to go.
I think you're overanalyzing a simple observation that man made. Just like you, when he goes out with you, he's evaluating whether you would be a good partner for him. He's doing the same thing. Most women, especially those with successful careers, usually have bad luck in relationships. A lot of that comes from their limited availability and high level of independence. This man assessed what his role would be in your life, whether you'll have time for him, and whether, at some point in the relationship, he'll be able to lead. He has a valid point, because women like that rarely connect with their feminine energy. But the teacher in the next video explains it even better.
You would be an average woman. And as about an average woman in this country, an average black woman, the average black man in this country earns $41,500.
What if I have degrees?
Thank you. See? I want you guys to understand. She just asked me, and I told her, what is a woman has her SMV. Now, these women actually think they can make themselves higher SMV because of a degree. That does not work. Men have never picked women based upon your degree. That is why you could be on fries at McDonald's, but if you look like Kelly Rowland, you can marry a millionaire. But you could graduate from Harvard, but if you look like Precious, you ain't got nothing coming. Why do you think a degree should matter to your sexual marketplace value?
I think it should add just because, I mean, if you're going based off just appearances,
then I'm going based upon who men are. When have men ever said, look at that average looking woman, but goddamn, I bet you she got a degree. Ooh, that ain't who we, no, ma'am. No, breathe. You got to ask the customer, the men. And that just shows that you ladies don't understand what we are. That is who we are. We don't care about your degree until we care about how you look in your body. That's when it matters, after your SMV.
The teacher is spot on, and he's absolutely right. I think a lot of career-driven women believe their degree makes them more attractive to a man. But that's not the case. No man ever says, she's a professional, great, now she can support me. That never happens. What a man looks at is whether you're a woman who respects him, whether you're young, beautiful, and fertile, whether he can build a family with you. A man who loves will be a provider, and I'm not saying a woman's effort isn't appreciated, but whether he's a millionaire or just average, what truly moves him is your looks and how you treat him. As the teacher says, a millionaire can marry a simple woman who just takes care of him in every way and cooks well for him, and that man will be the happiest in the world. Not a woman he never sees because she works as much as he does, and when they do see each other, all they talk about is how exhausted they are. The man is the customer, and the customer is always right.
I told a guy that I was waiting till marriage. It was our 5th date. We were trying to decide if we wanted to be exclusive or not, and expectations and what that would look like. And we talked about my waiting for marriage for about an hour. And he had a lot of questions, and I was like trying to answer them to the best of my ability and explain where I'm coming from and why it's important to me. He was really nice about it, like just a gentleman, just wanting to understand. And I told him, I know that this is a lot to take in, and I want you to be able to make the best decision for you. So please, take a couple days, think about it. Don't think about my emotions, just think about what you need in a relationship. And then give me a call back in a couple days. And just let me know what you've decided. And I've been waiting for the phone call all day. And I'm like, I know that I'll be good either way. Like, this is just how it is. Like, if I'm gonna choose to, set myself apart in Christ, then this is what dating looks like. But it just feels kind of bad to be waiting for his phone call, waiting to see, am I worth dating if I don't have sex? And I'm like, he hasn't called yet, and it's 8 p.m. And so I'm like, well, maybe he's not calling because he'll show up to my place with flowers and tell me that that's not why he was interested in me, and that he wants to be in a relationship with me either way, and that I'm worth it. But is that unrealistic? Wanting I don't know. I just wish that I was worth a big gesture, because right now I don't even know if I'm worth a phone call. And it hurts a little bit. But either way, I'll be fine. I'm just sad.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I really respect this girl for waiting. To me, she deserves a man who respects her. Now, it seems like she's looking for that kind of man in the wrong market. If you're religious and value remaining a virgin until marriage, then you should look for a man within the same faith, with the same values. There are plenty of single men in the church. It looks to me like you were drawn to a man who's not from the church. In short, the Lord's sheep is being tempted by the devil.
I'm in a shit mood. And when I'm in a shit mood, I have to think of things that make me feel better. And one of the things that makes me feel so much better is knowing that that stupid fucking bitch that thinks she's playing mom with my kids every fucking Mother's Day. That bitch either doesn't see my kids because they're naturally with me, it was my weekend, or they have to get up at the ass crack of dawn to get my children ready and bring them to me. So this stupid fucking bitch that's wasting all of her time, money, and energy. Not only will the children grow up and be like, fuck that bitch, so glad we're done with that shit, she doesn't get to fucking enjoy them. You're gonna pretend to be their mom in every other way except the ways that it really fucking matters. So that's the shit that fuck you. I'll see you next Tuesday, you fucking psycho.
This is a perfect example of a high conflict baby mom, because you cannot convince me, regardless of what she's trying to say about an evil stepmom on her platform, that she has ever fostered a healthy co-parenting relationship with her ex, even before a stepmom was introduced. As a mother, it is our jobs to foster a relationship with a co-parent that is positive and healthy for the children to adapt to the new situations. This woman cannot give up her perfectionism, her sense of control. She wants to control everything that he's doing and what the stepmother's doing or isn't doing. And she is the type of person that is going to nitpick in every situation to make it practically impossible. And the part that I really want to highlight is the part where she's using parent alienation by literally painting the father in such a negative way and painting the stepmother in such a negative way that those kids never stand a chance in ever having a healthy relationship. She's even saying that she's gaining pleasure in the fact that these kids will want nothing to do with them in the future. It's not funny. It's not cute. These kids eventually do grow up and realize who the villain is. And the fact that you don't have them consistently on Mother's Day tells me that the father of your child is actively involved despite how difficult this mother is trying to make it. And then she's intentionally starting problems with the step parent to then alienate the kids even further. So then they don't even want to be at dad's. But yet she's not part of the problem. But I also want to highlight this is a perfect example of what I mean when I say that these women will say that they got out of toxic relationships, that they did nothing wrong, that they're like perfect angels, but then they create the exact same toxic relationship through their children. So I mean, who's really part of the problem? Okay, bye.
Women like that are like a stone in your shoe. They're never happy, and they make you miserable too. That's why, when I see those divorce stories where she paints herself as the victim and the man as the bad guy, then later she's the one trying to make that same man's life hell, the one she claimed was the worst, it all starts to make sense. Also, when you see that a mother only gets the kids on weekends, it's because she's not a good mother. That woman is crazy. And look, while she stays single, the man is already in a new relationship, the kids live with him, the stepmother loves them, and kids aren't stupid. When they grow up, they'll see who the real villain is, and they'll notice it right away. Because the father is stable, while she's a mess.
Women.
I've decided that I'm at the point in my life where I want to be responsible for nothing. Not even really myself. I've spent most of my life being overly responsible, being an overdoer. And I've decided now that I want to sell my house. I want to move to the beach and live in someone's tiny little ADU, maybe like, I don't know, 300 square feet where there's enough room for a twin bed and a television set. And a dog bed, of course. And I want 4 forks and like 2 plates because reality is I never have people over. I don't have time. And maybe a wine glass, even though I don't really drink wine anymore because when I hit my head, it changed my taste buds and I can't really taste wine. I can, but it kind of tastes like metal. Doesn't taste good. But maybe a coffee pot, like a Keurig or something like that. I don't know, French press. That's really all I want. A capsule wardrobe, which I'm not really even sure what that is, but I think it's like all black, well, this is dark green, but pretty much that's what I already do. And I don't want to, and Alexa, I'm not talking to you. That's it. I don't want anything else. Coffee cup, maybe a coffee cup. That's it. Not even a potted plant. I don't even want to be responsible for a potted plant. That's what I want for the next stage of my life.
This woman, in short, wants to retire. Honestly, I recommend it. She's single, and she's already hit the wall. She should get herself a cat, pour a glass of wine, move into her little house, and be happy. She's at the wall now, and as we all know, the wall doesn't forgive.
5 days since I have been able to eat anything. Why, may you ask? Why haven't you eaten 5 days, Courtney? Well, because Donald Trump decided to change the rules when you collect welfare benefits, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8 disability, whatever it is. So I have been cut off. I have never worked a day in my life. I have 6 kids, 6 mouths to feed, 4 baby daddies. Okay, I don't receive child support. I don't have any income. I've never had a job. I'm not ever going to have a job. I don't want a job. The whole point of having the kids was to get government benefits. I have been collecting almost $10,000 a month in government benefits for 13 years. And now they just strip it from me. They take it from me. How the hell am I supposed to feed my kids? How am I supposed to pay rent? This is bullshit. Not only that, I have over 335,000 followers, and not one person has offered to help me. What's the point of having all these followers if they don't care, right? It is your responsibility as a taxpayer to support me and my kids. So, support me.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
If you're a hardworking person like I am, just hearing this woman say she's made $10,000 a month for 13 years is enough to make your blood boil. Why the hell should our taxes go to people who simply don't want to work? This isn't just shameless. It's a total lack of respect for those of us who get up early every day to keep this country running. This woman is the perfect example of how welfare fails. She lives off the system, had kids with multiple men without taking any responsibility, and still demands that the rest of us pay for her lifestyle. And the most outrageous part, she says she had 6 kids just to get government benefits and that she's never going to work. And she still has the nerve to blame others for her situation? No, the problem isn't Trump, and it's not the system. The problem is that she got used to living without contributing anything.
Yeah, so Donald Trump is finally agreeing that he will be shutting food stamps down. And I'm happy about it. I think too many women feel obligated to the government's finances. The government didn't make you drop out of school early and have a bunch of kids. The government didn't make you to have 4 or 5 baby daddies that's not in your child's life. The government didn't tell you, hey, don't go to school, don't be this and don't be that. But when the government started to help you guys out, y'all thought that y'all could sit around and lay up on the government for the rest of your life, and that's not what's going to happen. Trump is making people get out and work. Do like you did in the old days. We didn't have all this extra stuff. You had to get out and go do what you had to do. And now in this day and age, everybody got a chance to, the government's going to help me do this. The government's going to help me do that. They don't owe you nothing. Trump don't owe you nothing. The government don't owe you nothing. Get out there and do something for yourself. Stop raising your kids around on Section 8 housing and thinking they're going to get grown and going to be something. That is a lifeline that will be cut short at any given time.
Exactly. Back in the day, living off food stamps was seen as something shameful. Now people line up to get them. People used to want to work, set an example, and provide for their families. Today, they don't want to work. They just want to get money. Money that comes from those of us who get up and go to work every day. On top of that, most of this aid, if not 90%, goes to women whose only disability is not being able to keep their legs closed, having kids with every baby daddy that crosses their path. Why the hell should my taxes go toward raising Chad's kids?
My food stamps went from $4,400 in food stamps every month to $38. What am I supposed to get with $38 with 6 kids? How the hell am I supposed to support my kids on $38 in food stamps? Not to mention our disability checks on hold. Our Section 8, my rent isn't getting paid tomorrow. So I have to come up with $1,100. Okay? I am allergic to work. I can't work. I refuse to work. The whole reason I had kids was the amount of government benefits that you get for one child. And now, with the dependent age being 7 and younger, none of my kids are dependents now. None of them, because they're all older than 7. So how am I supposed to live? How do I feed my kids on $38? This is not okay. Not okay.
Hey, bro. What? Oh, my God!
You saw those grocery carts full, right? Can you imagine how much food these people get to take home without having to work, while there are folks working 2 jobs who can barely afford meat twice a week? I'm a capitalist, a strong one, but I'll admit, in countries like China, you never see the government handing out this kind of aid. How is it that the leading capitalist country in the world is the one supporting so many social programs that just drain our society? Society is rewarding laziness and punishing the provider. And as long as we keep handing out money without demanding responsibility, this is only going to get worse. Because those who live off the state learn to survive by lying, having more kids, and manipulating, not by creating any real value.
Women.
I'm fucking pissed the fuck off. They cut my motherfucking food stamps to $85 fucking from $738. How the fuck that's supposed to support a household of 3? For a job that barely even support my basic needs now. Like, inflation is high and the bitch groceries is high as shit. Oh, I'm pissed the fuck off. Like, I'm mad as shit because how the fuck am I supposed to survive off that shit? So when y'all see me in the motherfucking store stealing stuff and that shit in my motherfucking bag, nicely act like you don't see shit and mind your motherfucking business, because this shit is going in my motherfucking bag and I'm walking out this motherfucking store with my motherfucking chest up and my head held high, and I dare you to try to tell me, hey ma'am, excuse me, because I'm gonna look at you like you fucking retarded and say go talk to Trump about that shit.
What a lot of men mean when they say Our Lady shows the government, because the entitlement in this video is out of this world. I know a lot of ladies like this who are single by choice with the same entitlement issues, who were taught growing up that the government is the government's job, is the taxpayer's job to supplement their income because they have the inability or refuse to keep a man around to help them raise those kids. So it's daddy's government's job to come in, offer food stamps to keep everybody's bellies full. It's daddy's government's job to come in and supplement the housing situation and pay half the rent. It's daddy's government's job to make sure that everything is okay, right? That's choosing the state over building a community. Because when you choose to lay down, when you choose to try to have a child in this world, one of the things that you need to have a discussion about, which nobody seems to do anymore, is what y'all's goals are for these children in the future. And if you just getting your shit off with just a random man who's just trying to get a nut off, I guarantee y'all not about to have that conversation. Because if he's just trying to get a nut off, he's not going to have that goddamn conversation with you. A lot of y'all are having babies out of one night stands. I'm not saying that's the case in this woman, or with men that y'all barely know who are not going to help y'all raise that baby. And y'all were raised to believe that if that man don't show up, fine, I can have a baby, but daddy government's going to come through and supplement my income. And I'm telling you, you are living in a time right now. You can blame Trump. You can blame whoever the fuck you want, where the government is tightening its belt and they're saying, you. They don't care about you or those kids, or whether you go to bed hungry or not. And you can say whether it's right or wrong or whatever, but you need to consider that before you decide to bring people into this world, because it is not the government's job. It is damn sure not the taxpayer's job to take care of you and those children. And the amount of entitlement you have to say is you're going to go into a store and just start stealing shit because you can't afford to get X, Y, and Z. Instead of having those goals and projecting that to be your future, how about projecting the future of having a good, decent man come into your life to help you raise those kids? Or if you don't want a man, build a community with your girlfriends and try y'all best to pull y'all resources together and build a community so y'all can rely on each other and not necessarily the state, because the state don't give a fuck about you, baby.
Stop it. Get some help.
No one should care. Everyone should deal with their own problems, because there's no reason to be helping people who are fully capable of working. Back when these handouts didn't exist, women stayed married more often, took better care of their man and the home, because keeping the family together was a necessity. People worked 2 jobs, built partnerships with the goal of moving forward, starting a business, finding a way to survive. But now, a woman gets rewarded for being single with kids. If she's married, she gets less help. Even the same Chads tell her to claim she's single so she can keep getting benefits. Just look, women who grow up in that environment go on to do the same thing. It's a cycle of mediocrity passed down for generations.
I just learned so much about EBT or SNAP or whatever, and I'm kind of pissed off. Posted in one of my mom groups, tell me all of your EBT tips and tricks to get the most out of it. So honestly, just curious, because I've never had like benefits or anything like that. Read through the comments and I started to get really annoyed, because I have worked very, very hard since I was 14 years old and paid into this for people to basically be abusing the system. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are a family or a single mom or single dad, and you genuinely can't afford food or to feed your family or whatever, and you need these benefits, no judgment at all. However, the people in these comments that are just abusing it was wild. Did you know that if you have EBT that you can get high-speed Wi-Fi from Xfinity for $15 a month? It's pretty fucked up, because I pay over $100 a month for mine. They get half off of Amazon Prime. Why? Because having your things delivered to you within 2 days is essential. It's a survival need? Don't think so. Walmart delivery, Target Circle, Shipped, DoorDash, they all offer discounts for EBT. That to me is wild. So you can go and be lazy and spend your money on having whatever crap delivered to your door. That to me is a luxury. That's a luxury. Most museums, aquariums, and zoos are anywhere between $1 to $3 to enter. Again, these are luxury things. I don't take my kid to the museum every day because she needs to be entertained. These are special treats. We went on her birthday. We'll go for special occasions. Why do you deserve to go for $2 and I have to pay $25? Discounted Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. Are you fucking kidding me? This is what I'm saying by abusing the system. You're getting your EBT benefits, whatever, SNAP benefits, and you're not using it because you can't afford to feed your family. And those of you who are using it for that reason, great, fine. You need it, that's whatever. But the people that are like, I'm staying on it long term and I don't want to lose these benefits because of these benefits. This is wild. Why do you get the privilege of getting discounted things when we're working our asses off and paying for everything out of pocket? You get to go to the zoo for $2 and I got to pay $25, $30. You get discounts. You get free delivery from Walmart and I have to pay for it? I don't think so.
What really bothers me about this system isn't that help exists. What's truly concerning is that the state, in the name of social progress, has replaced the man as the central figure in the household. Today, a woman doesn't need a husband. She has a government that pays her for every decision that tears the family structure apart. And this isn't by accident. This subsidy model doesn't create strong citizens. It creates functional dependence. Citizens who never develop ambition because they've been taught that someone else, you, me, anyone who wakes up early, will always be there to pay for their food, their rent, their roof. This isn't about justice. It's about a system designed to reward the breakdown of the family unit while punishing those who still believe in it.
Turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. God, have I even tried? Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything. And I don't know how to, I did this whole growing thing wrong. Like I'm supposed to be an adult. I'm supposed to be able to handle these things, and I can't handle anything. And I literally am just realizing, like, it's been 40 years of this, and like, it's 40 years of just being confused and not knowing and like figuring things out slower and like not like I haven't built anything. I have nothing like to show for this time. I just don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm lost. I'm afraid, and
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
What we see here is the harsh reality for many women born in the 90s, raised under the discourse of empowerment and modern feminism. Now, at 40 years old, many are overwhelmed by life because they were told they didn't need any man and that success was found in independence. But now they face the demands of doing everything alone. This woman clearly hit the wall. She wasted her best years, the 20s, when she had the most options, and she didn't choose a good man who wanted to build a life with her. If instead of focusing only on her career or making money, she had looked for an average man with goals, maybe today she would have a family, a home, and stability. But feminism has demonized that, making the traditional role look like slavery, and now many are trapped on a path that hasn't brought them happiness. Because time and the wall don't forgive.
So I turn 30 tomorrow, and I'm just not ready. I'm still single. I don't have a job. I live at home with my parents, and I just thought I'd be at a different stage in my life. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is all of the younger, hotter guys who will set their age limits on Hinge and Tinder to 29 because they don't want to be matching with 30-year-olds.
Took them 55 years old, 60-year-old for people to touch their first M, the first successful business. In all honesty, it take a person to like almost 40, past 40 to learn themselves and what they confident in to finally give it to the world to have a successful business. The mindset's world feeds us through comparison that makes us feel like we're not at where we're supposed to be at. When the whole time character has to be built up for you to give the world anything that's sustainable.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Brother, two people rowing in the same direction will always be better than one alone. When I see these videos, I think the person who said single women are the happiest on earth should be in jail. This reflects what happens to many women who swallowed the put yourself first, then everyone else speech. The problem is that when then comes, there's no one waiting. The market doesn't reward waiting or confusion. It rewards decision and timing. And if you spent your 20s seeking validation, in your 30s you end up looking for excuses. The fear of handsome men is nothing more than fear that they won't choose you anymore because you're no longer at your best, and you know it. At 30, if you're still competing with 23-year-olds, you've lost without realizing it. Because the wall doesn't forgive.
Can't be the only person who feels like this. So I'm 30 years old. I'm unemployed. I've been unemployed for 4 months. I literally can't get a job. I've applied to over 150 jobs. I now have negative $4.41 in my savings account because of the monthly service fee that just hit. I don't know when I'm going to get a job. I feel very lost. This feeling of being unemployed and applying to jobs and retailing your resume, getting rejected, and then seeing the job reposted literally 2 weeks later is demoralizing. And remembering that I am still worthy and I am still valuable has been very difficult. I left my last job because it was destroying my mental and physical health. I liked the job, but I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I applied to a new job, and I was going to make the most money I was ever supposed to make in my life. And they laid me off 4 days before I was supposed to start due to company reorganization. And I haven't been able to find a job since. I don't have a Roth IRA. I don't have any type of investment accounts. I don't know if I'll ever own a house. I am married, but we're both children, to be quite honest with you. I live in an apartment that we can no longer afford because I lost my job, moved down here for the job that laid me off 4 days before I was supposed to start. So when you sign a lease, you just can't get out of it like that. That's not how that works.
Stop it. Get some help.
Damn, but you're really unlucky. You should go to the beach and fall on your back 3 times to see if that bad luck goes away. I want you to see how this woman has been out of work for 4 months, is afraid of being evicted. But amid all that, there's something key. She has a husband. He will take care of her expenses, even if forced by the situation. She has someone to put food on the table, someone to help her when a problem comes up. Because she has a partner. That's what a man does for his woman. If she were alone, she'd be desperate, in tears. What we're seeing are the benefits of having a husband. Point for the patriarchy.
Women.
I didn't get the job. For those of you who don't know, I'm an unemployed mom of 2, and I've not been working since June. I was laid off, so I've been unemployed for the last 6 months, and I desperately need a job. If you're hiring, please let me know. If you're still here, please give me a follow. I'm really trying to make TikTok at least a part-time job. That's my ultimate goal. Would be cool to be a content creator and just do this. I had my interview, and I wasn't selected as a candidate. So I got the email today, and I'm not upset about it. But what I am upset about and what discourages me is the fact that immediately when I interviewed with this girl, she was very professional, polite, cordial, but I felt an immediate bias, for one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's my own judgment being off. But I felt an immediate bias. What confirmed it for me was when I got the email, I took a deep dive into the company and who they employ. And do you know how when you go to apply for Hooters, the employers are seeking out candidates who are young, beautiful women with gorgeous bodies and a beautiful smile and this outgoing personality, and that's who they're looking for. This company, it seemed as though I was the Hooters girl, and they don't hire Hooters girls. And that's okay. It is okay. I'm not upset about that. What upsets me is that during this interview, as owners, as presidents, as CEOs, as CFOs, why do you employ individuals who are going to be the forefront and the first face of your company that candidates see,
who are not enthusiastic about your company, who do not harp on your company and say great things and express, this is what I've been doing. This is why I'm so excited to bring on candidates. Let me tell you a little bit about our company and why I love working here. Nothing. To me, personally, it speaks volumes about your character as a company, about your culture, about your values, about your standards, about your ethics. It speaks volumes to me.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
Single mother of 2 kids, unemployed, going to look for a job specifically at Hooters, a place that seeks young, attractive women to be waitresses. Reality hits hard. You don't qualify for that job. I don't think it's personal against you. Those are just the rules of the place. Besides, looking at the clothes the waitresses wear, are you sure you want to work there? And the most revealing part isn't that they didn't give you the job. It's that your plan B is to become an influencer. That's not a plan.
What frustrates me is that while I'm so happy for her and her remote position and her job, I'm confused as to why her, not me. Because I can confidently say that I could run circles around the job that she was doing. I could do her job times 5. I could be better at her job that she's doing. Call me a cunt. Say that I'm full of myself. I can understand if this job was for like a civil engineer. At that point, yes, just check off your qualifications. Give me your stats, XYZ. But this is a people business. This is a customer service industry. This is a people-run business. So while I can understand being very factual and to the point in interviews when it comes to like engineering or something like that, sure, fine, whatever, but I just feel like it speaks a lot when you're in the people business and the first face you see isn't even a people person. Like, yes, she was professional and nice and all that jazz, but there's a difference, you know? There's just a difference. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I believe that the opportunity that is right for me is on its way. Things are going to work out the way they do, and they will, because things always work out for me, and I've always said that. And I stand by that. Even when it's hard, even when it's not in my timing, things always work out for me. So I'm hopeful for that. Like I said, if you're hiring, please let me know. My inbox is open. I appreciate your time. And again, thank you to everybody who has helped me thus far. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you so much. Love ya.
These cases confirm that the story of happy singlehood falls apart when the bills and age show up. The empowerment they sell you on social media doesn't pay rent or fill the fridge. Without a partner or a family structure, many women realize too late that independence without support is called precariousness. Then they tell us they're the happiest. The truth is women are struggling. We haven't seen a moment in decades when so many women are below the poverty line. This woman would be better off if she were still married. Luckily, she probably has child support from the father, which provides a benefit for many women. But, brother, I love showing you the reality so you see that not everything that shines is gold. Feminism and empowerment are only leading women down a path of loneliness and instability.
Hey, I'm in there.
And women out here wonder why there's a huge group of men that are done dating and done with relationships. Because that man is not impressed. He actually thinks that lady now is probably the most unattractive person in the room. And now he understands that women can be extremely disloyal, even right before she's about to marry a man. And over time, if he has enough of these experiences, he'll probably become one of those guys that don't want a relationship and just want to chill in peace.
There is no winning when it comes to dating. I was supposed to have a date tonight, so I made a hair appointment for this afternoon so I could look cute and pretty. My date canceled because of a work emergency and he had to go cover a shift. It could be true. However, I'm very hesitant to believe that. I'm a little sad. I'm a little hurt. I'm a little disappointed, but I still want to look pretty. I'm not canceling my hair appointment. So we're going to go get my hair done and we're going to try to feel better. Doing some layers because there are layers to my dating life. Hoping this hair gloss makes my life a little bit glossier today. I feel refreshed. I feel like a new woman. It looks good. I feel like a new woman. And you know what? I don't even care that this man canceled on me because my hair looks good. I look good. I feel good.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
If you're okay with getting canceled, then who are we to deny you that pleasure? A bit of what we saw in the first video, and in the intro makes two things clear. First, that money makes the monkey dance, and a woman without values always has a price. Second, girls' nights and bar outings bring out the worst in many women. If there's a Chad she's into or a guy she finds attractive, she'll make her move or accept a drink from him. If you want to see it for yourself, just look at what your girl wears when she goes out with her friends compared to when she goes out with you. It's always more provocative with her friends. Coincidence? I doubt it.
Women.
Now, men are useless because men are useless. And did you know that men are useless because men are useless?
Spoiler alert. Now let me save everyone about a minute of your time that you're never going to get back if you actually watch that video. Because all that a certain individual says for the whole video is that men are useless. They don't try to make any valid points. They don't try to make any arguments trying to justify their position. All they state over and over again is that men are useless. And I would go so far as to say that any video that is made like that with that type of narrative is not just useless, but it is also pointless. Because the only type of people that are going to actually like it or encourage more videos like that to be made are those that seem to lack a certain level or any level of rational thinking. Because most individuals are aware that no population of human beings is useless. And making stuff like that is just perpetuating misandry and bigotry. And that needs to stop.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
I don't know if you've noticed, but the woman nobody wants to sleep with is usually the one who turns the most feminist, the one who hates men the most, the one who talks the loudest against the patriarchy. It's always that type of woman, the one no guy hits on, the one lonelier than the sun at noon on a cloudless day. You'll never see a woman who gets a lot of attention from men, who enjoys men, who's clearly feminine, having a radical view against men. It's like those who go to pro-abortion marches. You see them yelling, "My body, my choice," and you can't help but think, who in their right mind would even get that woman pregnant? But what do you guys think?
Okay, full transparency here on how much my divorce is costing me so far. We are just a year into it, and these are the numbers so far. I first spent $7,000 on a retainer and $4,000 for freezing assets and doing a few other things. Then I received a bill for $18,760.14. Received a bill last week for $4,542.87, with a grand total of $34,303.01. This is without going to court so far. Who knows how much it's going to cost to be finished.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
If that's the cost so far, it's because a big prize is being split, and you won't be walking away empty-handed. Where will most of that money come from? From the man. Where else? Divorce is in the top 3 reasons why a man files for bankruptcy. From how expensive it is to get divorced to how little you're left with after the process, the man almost always ends up broke. If you doubt it, just check the comments on this video. You'll surely find more than one story to back it up.
You know, a lot of people on dating sites, a lot of people do a lot of talking about men doing things. And I just want to say that we have enough men doing things. It's not that you're not doing the things. It's doing the things for yourself that makes you happy, that is fulfilling to you, in healing parts of yourself that feel abandoned, that feel wounded, those things that have made you feel hurt in the past, relationships that didn't work out, you know, what we want when I talk about men doing, it's doing things like healing. It's doing things like being prepared to be in another relationship, being prepared to learn and grow, but to also protect and provide. Like, men do a lot, and I'm not saying that they don't. And I know that a lot of the men in my comments and in my messages, kind of repeat the same pattern. Not all of them, but they repeat the same pattern. They're tired of being hurt. They want to have a best friend that, goes to war with them, that has their back, somebody that, they can trust and that who trusts them, and you can be, best friends. And it's just, you and your partner against the world. But I think that's a little bit skewed. And I don't say that because it's not important. Like, I want a partner like that too, where it's just a safe harbor. But I want to mention that in order for a woman to feel safe with you as a partner, you have to do the work on yourself. You have to be in a place where you can accept a woman that wants to go to war with you, stand by your side through whatever. But she's not going to do that if you can't do that for yourself. If you can't say, these are the qualities that I'm looking for in a partner. This is what I want my life to look like. This is the ideal situation that I have. And I'm not just talking about vague terms, like being a best friend. What is it that makes that person your best friend? What are the traits of somebody that that you can see yourself long term with? And after you do that, flip it.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
These kinds of messages that promote a man's inner work sound nice, but they come from a very convenient perspective for them, that a man has to be complete, mature, and fully put together before he even deserves a loyal woman. So where's the problem? The problem is that this emotional standard is only demanded of men, while women aren't held to the same level of accountability. A lot of men are tired, not because they haven't worked on themselves, but because they've already done it all, and even then, modern women still judge them for not being 6 feet 1 inch or not making 6 figures. And let's be honest, a man doesn't need to be validated. Because if a woman needs you to meet every requirement just to be with her, while she brings nothing to the table, then she's just waiting at the finish line for the winner. And we all know how those women end up on the wall.
What is it about you that would make somebody, that would allow a woman to want to be that person at your side? I guarantee you it's not just for your money. I guarantee you it's not just for what kind of job you have. It is how you show up in the world. It is how you present yourself to the world. It is how you feel about yourself. And I'm not one to say that you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to be healed. You have to be in a place to accept your partner and to accept all of the things that come with them. And yes, women have to do that too. But if we're truly healed, if we're truly in our feminine, we need a man that already does that. Okay? We've already done the work. We've been doing the work. We have spent our whole lives trying to be safe. We have spent our whole lives trying to choose a partner that we can be vulnerable with. You know, a partner that's not going to hurt us, a partner that's not going to physically hurt us, a partner that's not going to emotionally manipulate us, make us feel guilty for the feelings that we feel. Because that's what's wrong with relationships today. It is a toxic play. It's a toxic environment that we're all in. And we need a place of comfort. We need men that are protectors and providers. We don't need men that tell us, you know, you have to put in 50-50. This is how it's going to work now. No, because in our lives, we're showing up 70. You know, we're showing up 100 because we have no choice but to show up 100. And you should be showing up 100 also. And with that, you don't get to demand. You don't get to demand anything from us because the world as it is already demanding everything from us. The world is run by men, and all of us are exhausted. All of us are struggling mentally, emotionally, financially. And I'm not saying that to demonize men. I'm saying that because you're caught up in it too. You're feeling the effects of what it means when you don't heal your emotions, when you don't feel like you're doing enough, when you can't love yourself, when you can't heal the parts of you that are hurting from your childhood, when you were told that showing emotion was weakness. And so that transmutes into other things. That transmutes into violence and war and taking because you feel like you're owed something. You're not owed anything. None of us are owed something. But it takes a man that is fully healed to be able to have a partner that is healed, because a healed partner is not going to choose a wounded man. So it's something to think about. So leave your comments. Tell me what it is you're looking for in your partner. What are your non-negotiables? Does this resonate with you? Are there things from your childhood that you're still struggling with, that you're still dealing with? Go to therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. Heal those hurting parts of you, especially if you want a good woman, because a good woman is going to treat you the way you need to be treated, the way you want to be treated. But that woman is going to need somebody that treats them with the same respect and the same value. I hope that makes sense.
The whole inner work speech ended up blaming everything on the patriarchy. In the end, she says she doesn't want the money, but wants a provider. How does she think he's going to provide without money? That's called talking a lot without saying anything. In short, she makes no sense. I've never seen a woman who looks good, who works, and who's okay dating a man with no money. Unless he's a 10 out of 10 Chad. But if he's not that guy, that just doesn't happen in real life. Plus, it's always about what they want, what they ask for, what they desire. It's all me, me, me. What do you bring to the table? Oh, let me guess. Feminine energy, your presence. In other words, nothing tangible with real value. But expect the man to bring not only what you bring, but also real value. That's exactly why they end up on the wall. They think about everything except building something real. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about women who go on girls' nights out? Do you think women would still take the money even if they had the man they truly love? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.